Hello everybody, it's my Richard. Good Night of the Living Dead comps. I voted today. This gross is for you. Today's Super Tuesday. For you that aren't in the States, I think there's 14 states that are all voting today. Primary votes. This gross is for everybody that voted early. California has early voting. There's only 4 people left running, I believe, in the Democratic race. So all you idiots that vote early in a primary, it's stupid. You voted for somebody that's not even running anymore. There's a lot of, on the news, everywhere you're going, people are telling, go out and vote. Go out and vote. It doesn't matter how you vote, just go out and vote. What? See, it does matter how you vote. If you're an idiot, you're a dumbass, please don't go out and vote. That's my public service announcement. I'm going to show some comps, punk rock comps, different, it's not all punk rock, but it's what I call punk rock. I'm already babbling. We're going to start with some of the earlier ones. This is LAN, a collection of Los Angeles rock and new wave bands. It's got the Cats, Oingo Boingo, Charm School, Rubber City Rebels, the Low Numbers, the Surf Punks, so on and so on Rhino Records. There's another one on Rhino Records, Saturday Night Pogo, very cool cover. A collection of Los Angeles new wave bands. And it's a lot of the same type of bands. This one does have the Dogs on it, Vom. This one has a little more punky than that other one. Berlin Brats. And I believe there's the Young Republicans, the Deals, Motels. Yeah. They're both pretty good, and they're both on Rhino. This is another one, Sharp Cuts. This album is especially priced for a limited time only. Something from American band, Sharp Cuts. Alley Cats, Punk, Bates, Motel, the DBs, the Fast, the No, Suburban Lounge. Yeah, this is pretty good. They're all kind of similar. This is more of the hardcore punk, but before it, like 70s. This is all 70s stuff. These Punk 45s are fantastic. It's got these are early 70s singles. This is Hollywood from X to Zero. This is all LA bands. And here's another one, Kill the Hippies, Kill Yourself. This is American ones. It's got LA, but it's also got Ohio. And Ohio had a really good punk scene. What Is It? What Records was a fantastic independent label in LA. You got the Deals, the Eyes, the Germs, the Controllers, the Skulls, Chaos. This one is fantastic. Tooth and Nail, similar bands, Controllers, Flesh Eaters, UXA, Negative Trend, Middle Class, and the Germs. Another really good. New York, New Wave. This is Max's Kansas City. You got Cherry Vanilla, Pierre Ubu, Wayne County, The Fast, Suicide. This is a London one, the Roxy London. And this is January to April of 77. Live bands that played at the Roxy. You got Slaughter and the Dogs, The Unwanted, Wire, and Buzzcocks. And this is another one this is Farewell to the Roxy. You got Blitz, fantastic band. UK Subs, the Jets, whoever that is, the Crabs. I think that club lasted about a year. A really good series was the Rodney on the Rock. This is volume 1. This has fantastic bands on it. Adolescence, Agent Orange, Black Flag, Circle Jerks, Crowd, David Microwave, The Clan, Nuns, Rick L. Rick, Simple Tones, UXA, and more. And I do have another copy of this one. Now, what's cool about these Rodney on the Rocks ones, they come with a Flipside magazine, which was an underground punk magazine. And it's got a write-up on each band. This is Rodney on the Rock Volume 2. It's good. It's not as good as Volume 1. I didn't mention, Side 1 is more of the real punky stuff. And Side 2 is more of the new wavy type of stuff. But yeah, this is good too, man. Got Target 13, Social Distortion, Shattered Faith, Black Flag, Minutemen, Red Cross, Channel 3, Agent Orange, and Red Rockers, all on Side 1. And finally, we got Rodney on the Rock Volume 3. More of the same stuff. This is Everything is Shit. This is punk in Brussels, 1977 to 1979. I would say 75% of this is good. Maybe 80%. Another great one from LA is The Beach Boulevard. It's 3 bands from, I think these are all Orange County bands. You got the Simple Tones, The Crowd, and Rick L. Rick. Fantastic, dude. And I'm going to do something here. This is The Future Looks Brighter. This is Posh Boy. Originally, Posh Boy and SST Records did a cassette-only release. And that's what the cover of that looked like, that little picture there. And they weren't able to do, I guess SST couldn't come to agreement with Posh Boy. They couldn't do a vinyl one. So Posh Boy kind of did a similar, and it's just the Posh Boy bands. Shattered Faith, TSOL, Social Distortion, Channel 3, Shattered Faith, Symbol 6, and Social Distortion. Good album. This is an SST sampler. It's chunks, and this is fantastic. Again, Side 1 is the more punkier stuff, and Side 2 is the more experimental stuff. And yeah, this is fantastic. Side 1 of this is great. Stain, Sick and Crazy, gosh. And SST did another one. This is a test pressing, and this is Cracks in the Sidewalk. Similar stuff. Rap Music for Rap People. This has some really great bands on it. Dead Kennedys, DOA, Circle Jerks, Flipper, Avengers, Black Flag, Bad Brains, TSOL, Crucifix, and Deals. It's all live stuff. Really great stuff. The problem with this is it starts off with DOA, and then it has the Flipper song, and it kind of brings it down. I wish they would have put the Flipper at the end. But yeah, it's good stuff. The Bad Brains live material is fantastic. And this is Rap Music for Rap People, Volume 2. I just got this one, and I showed it recently. It's NDC, DRI, Dix, Minutemen, da-da-da-da. Butthole Surfers, man. That one. It's worth the price of admission just for that. A classic. Let Them Eat Jelly Beans. 17 extracts from America's darker side. And again, it's the same kind of theme. Side 1 is the more hardcore punk, and Side 2 is the experimental stuff. But this is just, it's phenomenal how good this is. Peace. This is a double album, and on this side it says War. It's bands, hardcore bands, probably came out in '84, I believe, from all over the world. And I forgot to mention, the reason I'm doing this video, I just picked up this, Mutations from the Motor City. Martin Jones showed this, and I'm going to leave a link to his video that got me inspired to do this thread, which is probably going to end here. You know, it's going to be a 2-person thread. But yeah, this is fantastic. And I'm going to talk more about this in my next vinyl finds. Hell Comes to Your House. Another fantastic. This is great, man. You got 45 Grave with Evil, Concerned Citizen, and 45 Grave. First time I ever heard 45 Grave. And then it's followed by Dogs by Christian Death. It's just, those 4 songs are just great. And it ends with Death on an Elevator and Embalmed Love by Super Heroines. Side 2, you got Social Distortion, Legal Weapon, Red Cross. Fantastic. This is Deserter, Maximum Rock and Roll presents. This is underground out of Poland. Punk rock out of Poland. I don't remember this one very well. Some of these I'm going to put aside. And this is one. I don't remember this album all that well. So I'm going to put that one over there. This is at Diane's Place. Diane's Place was a bar in Santa Cruz. And she was not doing good. She was going to have to close. The business wasn't good. And she started doing live shows, all ages live shows. And it took off. It was a fantastic place to see bands. But it got closed down. The owner didn't renew her lease, even though she was doing better business than she ever had. But yeah, this is a really good. Got Camper Van Beethoven on here, Holy Sisters of the Gagadata, and those type of bands, you know. Vancouver Independence. This is a punk rock out of Canada. You got Subhumans, Metros, SI Monkey, B-Sides, The Droogs, No Exit, Singing Cowboys, and MEC. Subhumans, the most well-known band out of all those. You got here U-Boats Attack America. This is all German hardcore bands. And this one is really good. On Flipside Records. Flipside was the one that had that magazine on the Rodney on the Rock. They started releasing albums. This is 4 singles by 4 Japanese hardcore bands. This is pretty brutal. I did listen to this one recently, and it's really hard. It's what's kind of stuff that's popular now. It's not my favorite type of punk rock. I like the more melodic. This is not that at all. But it was an interesting listen. Now, one of the best, I think, is Oi, the album. Sounds presents for your titillation, edification, and enjoyment. Oi, the album. Fantastic. This is just fantastic. Side 1 of this is just, it's one of the best sides in punk rock history. Oi, Oi, Oi by the Cockney Rejects. Rob a Bank by Peter and the Test Tube Babies. Wonderful World by the Four Skins. Have a Cigar by the Postman. Daily News by the Exploited. Generation of Scars. Terrible Twins. Guns for the Afghan Rebels by the Angelic Upstarts. And you got Sunday Stripper by Cockspar. All on side 1. You got Strength Through Oi. This is Oi 2. And this is not a first pressing. They blacked out the sounds here because it turned out this guy was like a white nationalist guy or something. And Gary Bushell, I don't know if he's on the cover here. He didn't want to have nothing to do with that. But yeah, this is good too. It's not as good as the first one. But you do got the Four Skins. You got Infra Riot, Cockspar, Toy Doors, Toy Dolls, and you do have Last Resort. Really great. This is Carry On Oi. This is a repress on Link Records. This is Oi number 3. I recently saw an original of this. That's what the originals look like. I don't know if you can see it. And on Secret Records. And I don't know. I just passed on it. But yeah, this has got... I kind of like this one. I don't know. It's about the same as the second one. You got Blitz, Resort, The Last Resort, Four Skins, The Business, Peter and the Test Tube Babies. Yeah, this has some really good bands. And finally, I got Oi Oi, That's Your Lot. This is Oi Volume 4. And more of the same. Now, another really good one is Punk and Disorderly. Really cool cover. This has got some really good songs on it. You got the Vice Squad, The Addicts, UK Decay, Disorder, Complete Disorder, and Peter and the Test Tube Babies, Band from the Pub. Those 2 songs, man, Complete Disorder and Banned from the Pubs. Fantastic, dude. This is Punk and Disorderly Further Charges. This is Volume 2. More of the same stuff with GBH and the UK 82 bands. And this is Punk and Disorderly 3, The Final Solution, with more of the same type of stuff. No New York. This is a Noise. They called this No Wave, was it? Yeah. It's okay. I mean, I like it. I don't listen to it a lot, to be quite honest. Controllers, Teenage Jesus and the Jerks, Mars, and DNA. Another experimental type one is Darker Scratcher, and I like this better than I do the No New York. But yeah, this is really, really great stuff here. I've shown this one before. Fantastic cover. Attack of the Killer Bees. This is a more commercial type stuff. It's the flip. This is a comp of Flip Sides by Marshall Crenshaw, the Pretenders, the Blasters, the Ramones, John Hyatt, Roxy Music. It's more commercial bands, but it's all B-sides. Attack of the Killer Bees. This is another one, Slash, the Early Sessions. And I thought, wow, cool. This is going to be, the early sessions, unreleased stuff from Slash Records. But it is not. It's a really good comp, but it's all stuff that is available on the albums, by the Blasters, the Gun Club, the Rank and File, Violent Femmes, X, Dream Syndicate, The Germs, Fear. So it was a bit of a disappointment. Now, I know a lot of people, they kind of discount comps. And this is the reason why, because the stuff is all available elsewhere, But most of these comps, most of the songs are only available on these comps. When it comes to punk, that's the way they did it. Flex Your Head. This is fantastic stuff. Discord Records out of Washington, D.C. State of Alert, the Henry Rollins, his first band. Minor Threat, Government Issue, Void. Just fantastic. Sudden Death, another really good, and it's on Smoke 7. Smoke 7 actually had some good comps. It's got Jodie Foster's Army, Moral Decay, which was my buddy Scott's band, Crankshaft, Dino Lousy, my friend, was on that one. Red Cross is on here. Good stuff. But the Moral Decay is really good on there. This is another one from Discord Records, and it's 4 singles. I think their first 4 singles. You can buy this on CD, and it's their first 6 singles, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this is the Henry Rollins right here. SOA. I have this 7-inch. Got Teen Idols, Government Issue, Youth Brigade. Very good shit. Flip Side, the vinyl fanzine. I wish I would have bought Volume 2, man. When I see it, I'll get it. This is Flip Side, the magazine. They started producing records, and this is their vinyl fanzine, number 1. It's got GBH. Just great mid-80s punk rock. Cruising, the soundtrack. It's got the Germs on here. It's got Willie DeVille's songs are really good. John Hyatt's really good on this. Rough Trade. It's not all like hardcore punk, but it's all it's not mainstream stuff. And it's the soundtrack to the movie, the Al Pacino movie Cruising. Fantastic. There's a new release. It's a double album, and it's got all the Germs recordings that they did for the album. They only put 1 song on the album, but I have all those songs minus 1, so I don't know if it's worth buying a double album just for 1 Germs song. This is Boston, Not LA. Fantastic stuff here. This is really fast hardcore stuff. Jerry's Kids, the FUs, Gangrene, the Freeze, Return of the Living Dead. This is a great soundtrack. I'm not a real big soundtrack guy, but this is one of the best. You got the Cramps, Surfing Dead. It's the only place you can find that song. You got 45 Grave, Party Time. It's the zombie version. It was they redid the words, and actually, it's my favorite version of the song. TSOL, the Flesh Eaters, Rocky Erickson, the Damned, Tall Boys, SSQ. Fantastic soundtrack. And this is a original press. This one I forgot to mention is a repress on Glow in the Dark vinyl. This covers a bit beat. That's why I bought the repress. And I ended up getting it for $5. Another, and probably the last soundtrack, maybe not, but I think it is, Repo Man. This is another really good one. You got Iggy Pop doing Repo Man. You got Black Flag doing TV Party. It's a different version than on the album, and it's a different version than the single. They're all three are different versions. You got Institutionalized by Suicidal Tendencies, and you got a couple of plug songs on here. Really good. Speed Trials. This is more of the experimental. I think it's New York. Sonic Youth, Toy Killer, Swans, Life School, Beastie Boys, Linda Lunch in the Fall. The Fall, they're not from New York. Eastern Front. This is live stuff. And it's okay. It's not great. Some of the songs are real good. Some are so-so. Another one that's really great, though, is the Maximum Rock and Roll presents Not So Quiet on the Western Front. 47 Northern California and Nevada bands. Just fantastic shit. This one is more of an industrial sounding one. It's From the Machine. Good stuff, though. We Don't Need Nuclear Force. This has some really good songs and some that are just kind of generic-y. I'm gonna put this with that Deserter one and give it another listen. But Toxic Reason's a great band, you know. The Varkers. So yeah, I'm gonna put this in my listening box. Another great one is The Sounds of Hollywood. A lot of these songs, I believe, are available on. This is on Mystic Records, on other like singles and stuff. But it's just all songs dealing with the cops, and I don't know if this is in Hollywood or if this is when the cops started a riot in Huntington Park. But you got the cops blocking off the street there. But yeah, this is really cool. You got Dr. No starting off side one with Egomaniac. Side one ends with a Black Flag Police Story. And then you got White Flag Shattered Badge. White Flag, really cool. They do the song kind of in the perspective of being sympathetic to the police. Suburbia, great movie. Another soundtrack. And side one is live stuff. There were 3 bands that performed live in the movie. And side 2 is songs by Alex Gibson. Just the film music. Really good. Batcave, Young Limbs. This is Batcave was a club in London. A lot of the goth, quote unquote, bands played there. Specimen, Sex Beat, Test Department, Alien Sex Fiend. Really good stuff. Posh Hits Volume 1. This is a repackaging of songs off of his singles and stuff. It's good stuff. It's not essential. All this stuff is available elsewhere. Better Youth Organization presents Someone Got Their Head Kicked In. This is a good comp. Got the Adolescents, Aggression, Battalion of Saints, Bad Religion, Social Distortion, Youth Brigade, The Joneses, and Blades. It came from Slimy Valley. This one is fantastic, dude. Just Dr. No's great. Ill Repute, Underground Kings, False Confession, Reign of Terror, Flower Leopards are great. America's Hardcore. Down at the end, Crankshaft. Their songs on this are fantastic. Lionel Lousy does a good job, dude. And there's my buddy Scott. I don't know if I ever told the story about where me and Scott went into this. Oh, this is funny. I'll tell it on another one because I'm showing a lot of records. When Men Were Men and Sheep Were Scared. Great album cover. The album's... It's got moments. The Crude. Probably steal the show. Another one that's really good is Life is Beautiful, so why not eat health foods? Yeah, really cool. I think that's supposed to be Manson, maybe? I don't know. Or no, Jim Morrison, I think. One that's got this stupid quote by Jim. God's Favorite Dog. This is fantastic. I bought it for the Big Black and the Butthole Surfer songs. But it's also got Happy Flowers, Killdozer, Scratch Acid, and Hose. Charred Remains. This was a cassette-only release with just a fantastic, Dicrucian, Sin 34, Husker Du. Just, Toxic Reasons. Fantastic. Radio Raheem recently released this a few years back, maybe 2 years ago. First time on vinyl. We got Power, Party or Go Home. This is on the Mystic Records, and this is really good. It's got 20 songs on side A and 20 songs on side B. Another one that I think is fantastic is American Idols, I guess is how you pronounce it. And it's North Carolina bands. I've talked about this before. It is just the variety of punk rock bands and bands on this. It just makes it fantastic. And it's so refreshing that there's this many great bands still playing. And Mind Dweller, someone needs to sign that band. They are fantastic. They are great. They're not your typical punk band. They kind of got elements of rock. I don't know if I would say metal. Not thrash metal. We got Burst Out, West Japanese Skinheads. I talked about this. I don't know if it was in the vinyl tag or whatever. I know it was in a recent video. And I played it, and this is fantastic. And I made the statement, that none of these bands, are very well known, and I don't think there's going to be YouTube videos on it, but this whole album is on YouTube, and it's really good. And this next one this came in here. It's Los Angeles, 1990. This is really good, and it's a picture disc, which I'm not a big fan of. It's got L7 on it. Bad Religion, Sandy Duncan's Eye. Motorcycle Boys are a really cool band. The Creamers. But the L7 song, American Society, is really good. The Decline of Western Civilization. This is a fantastic movie. The album is good. Let's put it this way. It has some great stuff. And it's got some stuff that... It starts off with Black Flag, 3 songs. Fantastic. Goes into the Germs, Manimal. And then it's got Catholic Discipline, Underground Babylon. Not so great. And then 2 X songs. So it's fantastic with the exception of 1 song. Side 2 has X again. Fantastic. The Circle Jerks... It's good, it's not great. They got way better later. The Alice Bag Band, I'm sorry, it's not that good. But it ends with Fear. Fear is maybe the highlight of the whole goddamn show. It's fantastic. I might put it down here. This is Boston, it's a New England hardcore compilation. Just came out last year, I believe. Every Winter is Cold. This is a limited edition one. You got this one here from Detroit. Sympathetic Sounds of Detroit. And it's on Third Man Studio. It's just really good shit. Bands from I think the early 2000s. Detroit bands. The Paybacks, I know them. Two good Detroit comps right here, dude. New York hardcore. This is essential. It's the New York scene got kind of it's a different sound on its own. It's real heavy. It's not as melodic. It kind of influenced metal in the direction metal went. And then the New York hardcore, in my opinion, kind of evolved into metal. And I like that, what's that, Life Crisis or Earth Crisis. I just can't get into those bands. The ones from the 90s. But yeah, this is good. Bold, Warzone, Gorilla Biscuits, Youth of Today, Sick of It All. It's a really good. And this one here is another one, New York hardcore, Where the Wild Things Are. This one's not quite as good, but it's good. And last but not least, we got Boston hardcore. This was a record store day from 2 years ago, I think. And it's pretty good. It's got some really good stuff. It's got some mediocre stuff. So I got here, I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 10 out of all these. These are the ones, if you don't have any, these are the ones I recommend you get. What is it? On what records? Rodney on the Rock, Volume 1. Let Them Eat Jelly Beans on Alternative Tentacles. Fantastic stuff. All these 10 are fantastic. Hell Comes to Your House. There is a Volume 2 of this I would like to get. Oi, the album. The English punk scene from 82. Another one from England, Punk and Disorderly, Volume 1. Flex Your Head, the Discord comp from Washington, D.C. This is Boston, not L.A. Great early 80s Boston stuff. Really fast stuff. Maximum Rock and Roll presents Not So Quiet on the Western Front, Northern California and Nevada bands. And my 10th one that I highly recommend is the most recent of the bunch, American Idols on Sorry State Records. Sorry State Records, man, they do a great job. This one is out of print. Maybe if you live in that area, you might find one in a record store. But one that you can find is this one on Bandcamp. I think they only made 500, so they won't last forever, but it's on pink vinyl. And I highly recommend it. It is sleazy, kind of like in the vein of the late 70s, early 80s punk with hints of the Stooges, New York Dolls. Really, really good stuff. There are a couple of songs that are so-so. Take care, everybody. I know this went long, but take care. Go vote. Unless you're a dumbass. If you're a dumbass, just stay home.